Oh, yeah. Hopefully I didn't blow your eardrums out there.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm alone again. Thought my co-host was coming this week. Unreliable, I tell you. Unreliable. All right, enough of that. How you doing? How's your Friday going so far? Hopefully it's good. Hopefully you're enjoying the early parts of your weekend. Here, what is it? Friday, January 22nd. I had to check that again. I've been confusing the dates lately. I don't know what my problem is. Oh, my co-host is right down the plaza, the other end of the plaza at the gas station, asking me, hold on, hold please. He's asking me if I need any beverages. That we saved that for the last segment. I got to unlock the studio door so he can walk in. Just a second. He's running a little late. Anyway, before he gets here, we want to do something. Sad news today that Hank Aaron has passed away at the age of 86. So we want to pay homage to Hank Aaron with a moment of silence. What a legend. I hated to hear that news story come out, and we lost another one. Uh, so time waits for no man, as they say. And yeah. Anyway, no good vibes there, but we had to mention it. It's a major news story, but rest in peace, Hank Aaron. And then we're going to get into our new topics here. If you didn't watch last week, we're going to be every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We put the topics on the right for you. You can call. You see the studio number 866-0525, area code 330. And you can also text that number. You don't have to call. If you're not a big caller, you can text us. I'll get it here right on my handy dandy cell phone, and I'll read your message on the air. So, and we're gonna have a co-host bursting in here any minute. So, just to warn you, and he'll probably be very excited, very excited to be on the show because he just got off work and he wanted to be here last week, but he couldn't make it. So let's get right into it. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday and a big weekend ahead. And yeah, let's move on. I'm discombobulated. I was on a long phone call before I went on the air, and my co-host just texted he's at the gas station at the other end of the plaza, and he's going to burst into the studio here mid-show. So I was thrown off a little bit. But anyways, you see Deshaun Watson once out of Houston. I figured it was only a moment, a matter of time. It seemed like he was unhappy. They never really got over the hump. And so now he's looking around for other options. And boy, that's got to have a lot of teams interested. He's that new style quarterback. He can run, he can throw. And there's quite a few teams that need someone to fill that role. So it'll be interesting to see where he lands, what comes with it, what goes with it, what leaves that team. And yeah, a lot of teams. Now, for the first time in a long time, my Browns aren't looking for one, so I don't have to worry about it. That was loud. Wow. So, Deshaun Watson on the move. So, it'll be an interesting offseason for the Houston Texans. And speaking of interesting, you could probably see it on the topics there on the right side. The Mets GM, or should I say former GM, because he was quickly and swiftly fired. He, was stalking some foreign reporter. 62 unanswered text messages and a dick pic later. He's been fired. And now the Mets are looking for a new GM. That's pretty crazy there. You'd think you'd have some hope that people that get to that level, let's just say, have a different demeanor. But nope, that kind of activity is from the bottom up. It doesn't matter what position they're in or how successful they are. There's still some weirdos out there. And this guy made his way to the ranks of GM in the major leagues, and no, he's still a man though. Taking a picture of his junk and sending it to somebody that didn't want to see it. So I don't know what he was thinking, but I mean, 62 text messages later, you gotta know. I don't think she's interested in you, bruh. But he was persistent little bugger. Hopefully my sound is good. Text the studio. Let me know if my sound levels are good or bad. 330-866-0525. Oh, and we're getting a call. "12-Ounce Sports," you're live in the studio. Who we got?
It's Glenn Cap. I have two things on my mind I want to say to you.
Go for it.
Number one, there is a surprise team, and I said this on my show way back a couple of weeks ago when I was talking about Deshaun Watson, and it was talked about on the Herd today on Fox Sports. The Carolina Panthers is an interesting team to keep an eye on for Deshaun Watson, and I called it, and I'm telling you that might happen. Secondly, with the New York Mets general manager situation, you know who's at fault for all of this? Whether you want to say it or not, and Carlton of WFAN was 100% correct about this because I listened to a segment about it. Jeff Passan of ESPN is 100% responsible because back in December, where he's like, oh, the Mets got a great general manager, Jared Porter, and he knew about the story and yet wouldn't say a peep about it, which utterly makes the New York Mets look bad. How are the Mets supposed to know about the situation when Jeff Passan knew about the situation this whole time?
He knew about it the whole time?
He knew about it the whole time. He knew about it since 2016.
Wow. Okay, you got a great point there then. You brought it up on your show yesterday, huh?
I did not bring that up on my show yesterday, but I didn't want to talk about it on my show, but that's a point for you and for all the fans. And Carlton is 100% right on WFAN.
Well.
But the Carolina Panthers thing, that I did bring up on my show.
Well, very good. And you're right. I think the Panthers would be a great landing spot for Deshaun Watson. So you make a good point there. Tell the viewers and listeners, when is your show, Glenn?
I am live, and I will have a special guest on Monday, but I am not revealing that
Ooh.
just yet. I am live on 11 a.m. on Mondays and Thursdays to noon on Glenn's Dynamic Sports Corner. So if you all tune in, listen, follow, whatever else you got to do.
I love it. Call in every week, would you, Glenn?
Of course. You have a great weekend, Beck.
You too, buddy. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Wow, who do we have in studio here? Introduce yourself.
It's just the in-house driver here.
The in-house driver. We were just getting started, and as I was playing the intro music, you texted that you were at the gas station. I was like, uh-oh, we're going to have a burst in here in the middle of the show, but that's okay. What do you want to talk about? I have topics on the screen. You're allowed to come around.
Oh, yeah,
You're allowed to be on
topics.
You're allowed to be on screen. We talked about Hank Aaron pass. We had a moment of silence for him. And then what Glenn was talking about was the next two subjects. Deshaun Watson, the Texans quarterback, he wants out of Houston. And then the Mets just hired a GM, general manager, which is a pretty high up position in Major League Baseball. And it turns out a couple years ago he was stalking a foreign reporter, sent her 62 straight text messages, and one was a dick pic. What do you think of that?
I have no comments on that. I don't want to see it, though.
No, nobody wants to see that. Trust me. So we're going to have some topics you're probably going to be like, what in the world are we talking about? One you're going to be excited about is racing's tonight, week 2 of the RWB Super Formula Season 1 of 2021. So we need to catch some of that. We missed it last week, I think.
Yeah, but I believe we saw the results, and the guy that we saw in the first
Cupcake.
week of Cupcake and qualifying was blowing everybody away, and he evidently won the first week races as well.
Cupcake's killing everyone. Cupcakes are killing everyone. And literally. So the Ravens released their veteran running back Mark Ingram, mainly because J.K. Dobbins has played so well. So Mark Ingram, if he's not going to retire, is going to be looking for a team. So he would make a nice third back. Most, if you don't know, NFL teams run about 3 running backs. The Browns have Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, but a lot of other teams will have that third back come in for passing situations. So Mark Ingram was a Raven, and he is no longer a Raven. This one you might like. The NFL Combine is going viral, which it's usually in a big stadium, and a bunch of scouts come, and they watch these college kids turning pro, run the 40-yard dash, they lift weights, and just do a bunch of athletic things. But now the scouts are going to have to watch virtually. What do you think of that?
That could be interesting. Do fans get to watch it too?
Yeah, I just wanted to do that to you. Yeah, fans will get to watch it. That's a long cricket there. But yeah, the fans watch it. They watch it every year, though. It's always on the NFL Network. But fans aren't in the stadium, usually, anyway.
Are the crickets also going to be running during the combine?
Well, that's probably what they're going to hear now that the stadium will be empty, but just the guy running the 40-yard dash. It'll be kind of weird, actually. But yeah.
Sort of like a high school track meet.
Yeah. Nobody there. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I should warn you, don't get fooled by that. I have our video and voice synced up, so it's going to look weird to you there. There's going to be a delay to you. I didn't want you to get
I'm not worried
freaked
about
out. Oh, well, you only had a third of the first beer, so it wouldn't throw you off too much. Hey, it's nice to have somebody else in here now. Last week I was, by the 50th minute, I was struggling to get something, talk about something, so... do you have anything on your mind? Any headlines from the week?
Well, I have a car race on my mind. The 24-hour in Daytona is coming up not this weekend, but the next weekend. However, today they just started practice for what they call the Roar before the 24, which is this weekend. And it's just a series of races and lots of fun. Good to see some cars, what times they're going to hopefully do.
The Roar before the 24. I like that.
Yeah.
So they race at Daytona, but it's a street course, right? There's not just left turns.
Right. It's the infield course at Daytona.
Yeah. So if viewers are wondering, why are they doing a 24-hour race in an oval? It's not. They weave in and out of the, what do they call it during NASCAR? Infield.
The infield.
Yeah. It's actually a pretty cool race, and it's hard to see the cars at night, but it's cool to see that they're racing, in the 18th hour and it's pitch dark out. I mean, what's the one that was late last year that we watched overseas? It was in a foreign country, but it was a 24-hour race, I think.
That would have been, I think, Le Mans. They ran it later in
Yes.
the year. That's normally in June or July, but
Yes, Le Mans.
last year they ran it in the fall.
And Le Mans was on that channel Motor Trend or something like that never has races on now. You remember? We watched it. It was on that channel, but ever since then they've never had a race. I don't know how they got the Le Mans, but sweet. I wish we had a Daytona 24-hour on 12-ounce sports. Maybe we'll have to work on that someday. Maybe they'll do the 12-hour.
Maybe we can get the 24-hour at Nelson's Ledges.
Oh, the small 24-hour race. We should do that.
Yeah, that'd be fun to get.
We'd have to do it as a documentary, though, right?
Sure.
Yeah, because I don't think they have internet out there.
Maybe not.
I don't think Nelson's what's the campground there? Is it Nelson's Ledges?
It's also called Nelson's Ledges.
They don't have toilets there, so I'm pretty sure they don't have internet there.
I don't know how close to the campground the racetrack is, but...
Oh, yeah. Well, I have some good news for you. The next subject is really good news. Ohio State's best receiver, Chris Olave, said he's coming back for his senior year. We needed that. So, and another defensive guy said he's coming back for his... I don't think the Buckeyes like the way the season ended. I think there's a couple guys that decided to skip the NFL draft this year and come back. So
That sounds good.
And it's rare these days. I mean, a lot of players never do that. The first chance they get to go pro, they go pro because there's money on the line. So, well, we're in our first break, so you got good timing. You'll be able to pound that. What are you drinking? Rheingeist.
Yeah, telling the truth.
Oh, is that what it says?
Yeah.
Nice. I brought my Mick Light, Mick Ultra, because I got to drive home from the studio. But I'm probably going to save it to the last segment, toast, and then we'll just pound a few here in the studio.
Nice.
So,
I might be leaving my car in the parking lot here.
yeah, sure. You're watching Work Week in Review live with the janitor here in the studio, and we got in-studio driver with us. So there's two schmucks talking sports. We'll get to some more headlines when we come back. And then on the second half of the hour, we'll get into some league standings and just kind of ad lib from there. But thanks for tuning in on this beautiful Friday. I hope you're enjoying it. We'll be right back.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
At Amazon, we're pretty good at getting things done. We're pretty good at solving problems. COVID-19 is the biggest challenge we've had to face. But challenges are what motivate us. Like flying masks to our employees around the world. We're doing everything we can to get you what you need, and doing everything we can to keep our people safe. I'm former Navy pilot Sarah Rhodes, and I'm proud to lead our Amazon Air network.
Look at that. The close class, 19
I can't wait for the last segment. I'm getting thirsty. Fill the cup. Casey's got his cup filled. I'm waiting to the last segment.
Quench your sports thirst.
I knew we had a plan with that tagline, Quench Your Sports Thirst. It was going to be beer in studio. Well, we're back. Hopefully the sounds are good. I fiddled with them again pre-show because I was quiet last week. And now I feel like I have too much treble. Here comes the treble. That old joke from choir. Oh, what do we want to talk about now? Oh, you're going to like this one. So I know you're like you're into sports that aren't mainstream. You like the 24-hour races. You like hockey. Well, that's becoming mainstream, but you like international soccer. So maybe you don't know. I'm kind of being sarcastic, but in college football, when you're recruiting, you're not really allowed to give the recruits cash.
Uh-huh.
That's like bribery,
Yeah.
and they're minor. They're not.
I did know that much.
Yeah, they're not allowed to receive cash. Well, it turns out the Tennessee football coach, university, was handing them bags of McDonald's, but he would throw wads of cash in it too.
Oh.
So he got caught, and he is fired. Too loud?
Yeah, that was a big one.
Huh?
That was a big one.
You can act like a man. What's the matter with you?
It hurt my ears too. So yeah, the Tennessee coach was giving recruits. I mean, they give them food anyway when they visit, but he was throwing wads of cash in it, so he's out. So,
Wow.
yeah.
But they don't even have like a really fantastic team, do they?
No, that's the other. That's the funny thing. They sucked. He was paying recruits, and apparently, I mean, it didn't help.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not paying them enough.
Oh.
Maybe some of the good schools are paying them more.
Oh, maybe that's why they got jealous. They weren't getting enough, so then they just happened to spill the bag in front of somebody who told on them. I don't know.
Could be. I don't know. I'm sure a recruit that didn't go there is the one that ratted them out. Oh, here you'll like this story. We just do headlines of the week, the work week, but our Penguins recovered a little bit.
Nice.
Won 2 in a row against Washington and Ovechkin.
Good.
After, I think you and I probably after the weekend, opening weekend, were like, this team's going to suck this year.
Well, yeah, watching some struggling defensemen in those first 2 games was not fun to watch.
Well, according to Glenn, who called in earlier, and you can call in too, 330-866-0525, Glenn said that they didn't work on a defense in off-season. He's not happy about it. He's a Pittsburgh guy.
Well, it apparently showed.
Yeah, and I think he's right, because the overtime win against Washington, the announcer said they were down to 4 defensemen
Wow.
in overtime. So I don't know, injuries, I assume, or fatigue, or people didn't dress, but...
Was it the number 5 Matheson, I think his name is? Is he still playing, or was he injured?
I don't remember the 4 defensemen left, but they only had 4 for overtime, which is like pretty bad.
He kind of intrigued me because they just acquired him, I think, last September, and he was supposed to be this big defensive stud, and then the games we watched, I didn't think he was doing much at all.
No, that's right. They did pick him up last year, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's still trying to settle in. I don't know. I mean...
Or like Glenn said, if they're not practicing it, how can they get it right?
Well, yeah, that's a good point, too. I mean, the other teams have the same headache. Now, we were talking about it. I don't have it as one of the topics, but since we're talking hockey, we were talking about it the other night. The puck, they had tracers in the puck. I wonder what that's for, but it was because of the tracer.
Not a screen tracer.
No, it's a GPS thing. So I don't know if it was to keep track of where the puck's going, or...
I'm guessing because sometimes, those overhead shots when they're trying to determine if the puck goes into the net.
Yeah.
And there's guys' bodies in the way and all that, and they don't get a clear view with the camera. So they might want some kind of technology to determine if it actually went in the goal.
So maybe it's solely for that. But whatever they were doing at the manufacturer's plant to make these GPS chips be in the puck was causing it to have a bad finish. It wasn't finished normally like a normal puck is, so the players were complaining. So the game we were watching, it was the first game where they went back to the pucks they used in 2019, 2020, and it was like a shootout.
Yeah, lots of goals.
It was a lot of goals. So
fun to watch.
maybe maybe the new puck was holding them back on goals as well. Make sure this isn't oh no, it's nothing to do with this show. Sorry, I get sidetracked easy.
Evidently.
Squirrel. Is there a squirrel in here?
No, there's birds in the ceiling though.
There you go. We'll get very sophomoric today. So yeah, the Penguins have recovered. We're going to get to the standings here in just a little bit, but 2 legends of football have retired, Phillip Rivers and Drew Brees. And I kept seeing conflicting stories about Drew Brees. Maybe he was on the fence, so hopefully I'm not talking out of school here. But I'm going to tell the story that I told you the other night about Philip Rivers. Yeah, if Drew Brees did retire, I'm terrible. I was just seeing.
Is he going to go live in a van down by the river?
Maybe he isn't yet. He's pondering it again. So, but Philip Rivers did for sure. This is a real informed show here. He was wishy-washy when I was making my notes for the show. It was still up in the air, so I wrote it down as he did retire just to be safe. All right, let's regain our composure here. Hold on.
You can act like a man. What's the matter with you?
Okay. Philip Rivers retired.
Oh, that's too bad.
Long time Chargers quarterback, and then he played for the Colts this year. J.J. Watt tweeted a story about Philip Rivers and how smart he is, because I think he has like a master's degree from NC State, but he is smart, and he's also a notorious trash talker. So there was a game where there was a young or rookie linebacker, and Rivers stopped the cadence to tell the linebacker he was lined up wrong, because based on the blitz they were about to run, he should be over there, not over here.
That's great.
And you call that a total mind F.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, what are you going to do as a defense if the quarterback knows exactly what you're doing every play?
And every single person on the defense heard that, and they all had to have just gotten out of their heads.
Yeah, and he knew where the guy was supposed to line up for the blitz. That's even crazier. So the game of football lost a great one there. He never got the ring, but he's got crazy numbers, and he played for the Chargers. They had good teams, but it's not like he played for the Patriots or.
The Colts did pretty well this year, didn't they?
The Colts made it far too, and they gave the Bills a run for their money in the playoffs. So playoffs.
All right.
Am I confusing games again? No, the Titans lost to the Ravens. I gotta get my head right here. I did this last minute. I sound like you. I know everything about cricket, and I don't know much about. Oh, I said cricket. I almost hit the button again. But yep, NFL lost a good one, and Breeze, if he didn't retire yet, he's going to next year. So we're gonna lose. They're gonna start falling off the wayside. Brady's in his mid-40s. I think Roethlisberger's in his 40s. Aaron Rodgers is getting up there in age. Drew Brees is in his 40s.
Wow.
So we're gonna have a new wave of young quarterbacks in the NFL. So hey, speaking of young quarterbacks, Mahomes is scheduled to play this weekend. So you might know this controversy. So the Browns knocked him out of the game.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
And there was some debate on whether or not it was an actual concussion. And I know when we were watching, we were like, it didn't look like he got hit on the head. It looked like he got kind of clotheslined on the side of his neck and then hit his head maybe on the ground. And then he didn't come back out to play the rest of the game. So it was clearly something. He couldn't stand up. I mean, he about fell over when he stood up.
Yeah.
So it looked like a concussion. And then during the work week, there was a lot of conspiracy theories that the NFL might postpone the game till he's ready.
Whoa.
Well, he's one of the brightest stars. And
No.
I know. I don't think the NFL would have done it, but it was what people were like kind of requesting.
Oh, my.
And then there was also theories that the Chiefs weren't really being open on whether it was a concussion or not, because they were going to try to hide the fact that it was so he could play, because if it was a concussion, he wouldn't be allowed to play this week.
Ah.
You have to sit out, I think, at least 2 weeks.
And they didn't determine that right at the game?
I don't know. He went to the locker room.
Ah.
I don't know. They're being kind of covert about it. I think if you pass concussion protocol, you can play, but I still think you have to sit out a certain number of weeks automatically. I mean, they take this head stuff serious in the NFL.
Unless it's the playoffs.
Unless it's the playoffs, and then they don't give a crap, I guess, because
Evidently.
he's playing. So it will make the game more interesting because they're playing the Bills, and if they didn't have Mahomes, they'd probably get smoked by the Bills.
So now if he gets hurt again, concussed again,
He'll be out.
and how many lawsuits are going to be on the NFL for letting him play?
Yeah, if it's a serious one, and let's say it ends his career, what's going to happen then? Who's going to take the blame? Probably the Chiefs, which ultimately means the NFL.
Yeah.
Because they're the corporation. So I don't know. I think the NFL was scared of not having Mahomes. They saw the product when he wasn't in, because Chad Henne isn't it. Somehow he beat the Browns.
Yeah, but do they think they're going to have less viewers if Mahomes doesn't play?
I never understand this. They always think they're going to lose viewers. People are going to, what are you going to watch? You gonna watch another episode of Gunsmoke, or are you gonna watch the playoffs?
Or the 24 Hours of Daytona.
Well, somebody might do that. I would watch that. That's why I have 2 TVs in the living room. But
Yeah.
I don't know. What was the other thing we always laughed about where they do it because we think they're afraid of losing viewers? I'm trying to think because we laugh every game. Like, why are they doing this? They're not going to lose viewers.
Oh, make games close. When we think it's going to be a blowout, and then somehow some team magically comes from far behind, even though they don't win.
Oh, well, you're kind of on the right path. That's your conspiracy theory that the refs are doing it on purpose, which
Yes.
some probably are. Mine is when the announcers are always like saying this game could get close at any minute when it's like a 28-0 blowout, like because they're afraid we're going to tune out or something. It's like, dude, this is the only game on. I'm not going anywhere. I'll happily watch somebody get slaughtered 56-0. That's when it gets good. The fights start happening
Yeah.
in between plays. So
Same in hockey. Teams getting destroyed, and all of a sudden they start hitting.
exactly, that's when hockey gets extra fun.
Oh, yeah.
When somebody's getting blown out 6-0, and you know the goon's coming out to take somebody out.
That would probably make more people tune in.
Oh yeah. The fighting part's just. I think they need to implement that in every sport. For now on.
I think linemen should have boxing gloves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they can't hold either.
Oh yeah.
They can't hold because you have a boxing glove on.
You're on to something here. Offensive linemen and defensive linemen have to have boxing gloves on.
Impossible to hold anybody.
You can't hold, so then that stupid flag goes away because
Yeah.
they say you can call holding on any play.
And how many times does it totally affect the game when they decide to call it?
When they decide to call it, because they decided to call it on the Browns at a really iffy time where it wasn't even a hold.
Right.
It wasn't even a hold. They just knew the saying, you can call it any time, because everybody's holding at every moment of the game.
Right.
And then they called on the Browns during a crucial time, and they show the replay, and even the announcers are like, "Ooh, that wasn't holding."
or sometimes they call it on a lineman who's totally on the other side of the play. Like the play goes left, and the lineman on the right decides to hold, and they throw a flag, and it had no effect on the play.
Exactly. Well, it wouldn't. Now that I think about it, it wouldn't completely eliminate holding because only the lineman would be allowed to have boxing gloves on. But the kicker to that is in between plays, the linemen don't. They kind of need to know the play, but I mean, I think full-on boxing should take place. Keep your helmets on, but
Just uppercuts.
that would take a lot of the extracurricular tension out of the heated moments of the game. And then when the plays run, then you get back to business. And in between plays, beat the shit out of each other.
You could probably eliminate face masks if you had boxing gloves.
Oh, there you go. But then every player would need boxing gloves.
Oh.
It's going to be kind of hard for the quarterback to throw the ball with boxing gloves on. We've gone completely off the rails, but that's okay. That's why we like it. One more football one, then we're going to cut the break before we get into the UFC. We have more than one football one, but this one's kind of a big one. Antonio Brown is going to be out for the NFC title game. I can't talk. If you know the story of Antonio Brown, Tom Brady kind of took a liking to him. A lot of people speculated last year that maybe he had some head injuries because he was kind of going off his rocker, getting in trouble with the law, dyeing his hair, and Tom Brady took him under his wing, brought him into Tampa Bay, which the coach was kind of against and said he has a no-strike policy. And he played really well. He had a lot of touchdowns and made that team better, but he's got a knee issue, so he's going to miss the NFC title game against the Packers. So we'll see if the Buccaneers can overcome that. I find it interesting that Tom Brady is in his 40s. He left the Patriots. Everybody said he was a system quarterback and that he needed the Patriots. The Patriots didn't need him. And look, the Patriots they didn't make the playoffs this year for the first time in like 16 years. And this old fart's about to go to the Super Bowl if he can beat the Packers.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I don't like to hear about Antonio Brown injuries, but go Packers.
Go Packers. Well, I was once a Packers fan. I still kind of like them. You like the Packers because they're fan-owned, I think. Yes. That's a good reason to like them, though.
Yeah.
But I know some people on 12 Ounce Sports can't stand Aaron Rodgers, but I mean, they don't have to root for Aaron Rodgers. Maybe the running game's having a really good game.
Maybe you could petition the city to vote him out or something. I don't know.
They're not getting rid of Aaron Rodgers. He might be the best quarterback in the league right now. Him or Mahomes.
That's why you hate him?
I don't hate him. I said some people on 12 Ounce Sports do.
Oh, okay. Do you know why?
They think he's arrogant. I don't think you're a $20 million Hall of Fame quarterback and not be arrogant, but and just slaying hot women left and right. I mean, how are you not going to be arrogant?
I've never been in that situation.
Me either. Maybe if I win the Mega Millions tonight, I'll get to experience that a little bit. $970 million. Oh boy, I tell you what. 25 minutes to go. We're going to take a quick break. You can call us 330-866-0525 or text us. We will read it on the air no matter what you write. So this is your chance to prank a talk show because I will read exactly what you text if you text it. So there you go. But we would take your call. Glenn already called in. We had 3 calls last week.
Always good to hear from Glenn.
Always good. He needs to call every week now, though. So don't leave us hanging. We're going to leave you hanging for just about 2 minutes as we go to commercial and dance and get my beer ready. I don't know is it going to be last segment? It's going to be close. I'm going to count it.
All right.
I'm going to count it as last segment. I'm getting thirsty. We'll be right back. Work Week in Review live from the 12 Ounce Sports studio. Hope my volumes are good.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
At Amazon, we're pretty good at getting things done. We're pretty good at solving problems. COVID-19 is the biggest challenge we've had to face. The challenges are what motivate us. Like flying masks to our employees around the world. We're doing everything we can to get you what you need, and doing everything we can to keep our people safe. I'm former Navy pilot Sarah Rhodes, and I'm proud to lead our Amazon Air network.
Bring it up from the elevator. You know what time it is. It's the last segment, so we got a toast. It's going to be a long segment, though, 20 minutes. A beautiful Friday here, January 22nd. We are live in the 12 Ounce Sports Studio, which resides in Magnolia, Ohio. The snow's just kind of melting away before the next one comes. I think, are we getting snow this weekend?
I have no idea. I haven't looked.
I think it's supposed to snow.
It was snowing today, kind of.
It did snow a little bit. It didn't stick, though. But last week's show, it was a winter wonderland out there. So this is officially the last segment. We're not going to go to commercial until the end of the show here at the top of the hour. So you know the tradition. I told you last week we're starting the tradition. It's the last segment toast. So if you're near a fridge, if you're in a bar, I mean, if you're in your car, don't do this. But otherwise, we're going to crack it together. We're going to drink it together. And we're going to talk some sports together. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, cheers. It's good. It's good, Jerry. Oh, that was loud. Hold, please. I'm getting a text. Talk amongst yourselves. Do you have any topics you want?
Yeah, can I talk? I want to...
Absolutely.
Okay, so in this Daytona race coming up, there's a guy from Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, in my favorite class, the GT Daytona class.
Nice. Well, after you're done, I just got a text into the show. One of the viewers want us to rank our top 5 beers each, so go ahead.
All right. So Brian Sellers is going to be driving a Lamborghini, Team Falcon Tire, Paul Miller Racing, and just want to wish him good luck representing Ohio down in Daytona this weekend.
And where's he from in Ohio? Or
Dayton.
He's from Dayton? Okay, nice. A guy from Dayton racing in Daytona. I love it.
In a Lamborghini.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, we're going to have to watch that next week, I think. All right, top 5 beers. Go.
Truth.
That's not the beer.
It is a beer. Rheingeist, Cincinnati made Truth.
There you go. Now you have to say this. You have to say Rheingeist, though. They don't. If you say Truth, they don't know what you're talking about.
It's an India Pale Ale.
So Rheingeist is from Cincinnati here in Ohio, and they make a beer called Truth. That's what he's drinking. Is that your number 1 or number 5?
It's in there somewhere.
Where is it?
I don't know.
You're not going to do a top 5?
I'll give you 5. I don't know what order they're in.
Yeah, let's hear 5.
All right. Yingling is going to be in there. The lager. What's the Negro Modelo, the Mexican beer? I like that one a lot. Guinness. I love Guinness.
Yeah, that's going to be on my list.
How many am I up to now? That's 4.
That's 4. Yeah.
Shoot, a 5th one.
I know, tough call.
It is a tough one.
Because we don't.
You know what? Beck's beer.
There. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Beck's dark, actually.
There you go.
Yeah.
So my 5. I mean, Miller Lite's my go-to. So that's got to be on my list as 1. Christmas ale. I'm going to say the Breckenridge variety is my favorite, that's a tough one because Holly Jolly from, is that from Fatheads, Holly Jolly?
No idea.
And then Great Lakes Christmas Ale are up there. But I'm going to go with the Breckenridge Christmas Ale, Miller Lite, which Miller Lite's my go-to. I'm not going to even name the beer I'm drinking now because it's not my top 5. It's just what I'm drinking. Guinness has got to be in there. I used to be like, in my 20s and 30s, the little ball in Guinness to mix it up was just like awesome.
Oh,
Like
you drank those?
Oh yeah, I drink the ones with the mixing ball in the can.
I only ever had them in like pubs or bars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I got to pick a Great Lakes one. I'm gonna go with Commodore Perry from the Great Lakes, and then an oldie that I haven't had in a while, but was my favorite beer for a good 12 years is Killian's Red.
You know what I haven't had in forever that I like? I don't know if it's in my top 5, but there was an Amberbach. I think it was a Michelob Amberbach, something like that. It was nice.
They did have, Michelob did have an Amberbach. You're right.
Yeah.
Now,
I haven't had it in forever.
Now, the sucky thing is most of those beers I just named, the Christmas Ale from Breckenridge and Miller Lite, I drink year-round. Well, not the Christmas Ale, but, I mean, those 2 beers I can drink anytime. The other 3 on my favorites list, because I went on keto and suddenly had energy, and I suspect I have some kind of gluten allergy, I can't really drink them or I get incredibly tired.
I don't know how you drink those Christmas ales. I think they're like pure cinnamony flavor. I don't know.
Pure cinnamon. They're 9.5% alcohol.
They just taste like cinnamon.
Get 2 of them down, you won't. What's Bubbles say? Get 2 of them down your gullet. You won't even know what you're drinking. I've never been so ripped on a 6-pack in my life. Oh my goodness, I miss Christmas ale already. Can it be Christmas again?
In July.
And now we got another text. Since you're talking best or your top 5 beers, where's the what are the best arenas or stadiums you've had a beer in? Because some stadium beers suck.
Well, depends. I don't even know what it's called now. I was in both the new one and the old one, both of those.
What beer did you have though that was really good there?
Yingling.
Yeah, Yingling at a Pens game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where they make it, really. So it's got to be good. I'm going to go way off the cuff here. This is going to sound weird. I'm not doing this to be a mentor because 12 Ounce Sports does amateur baseball in Thurman Munson. But when Thurman Munson was a minor league stadium, there was a guy that would sell Labatt's Blue. And I would pound those sons of bitches all game. And I don't know why, but they tasted so damn good on a hot summer day. I don't ever drink Labatt's Blue, but that's what he was selling. And he would walk down to the area we were sitting at the little patio area.
Yeah.
And no other vendors were coming down. So first or second game, I just said, all right, I'll start trying Labatt Blue.
Yeah.
So Labatt's Blue at Thurman Munson Stadium when they were the Canton Crocodiles or something like that, minor league team, is like...
That's wild you mentioned minor league baseball because the only other time I've ever been to a minor league or any baseball game before working with you in Thurman Munson was actually in Daytona Beach at their minor league baseball stadium when they had some...
Oh, I'm jealous. You were at that stadium?
Yeah, they had, dollar hot dogs and dollar beers. I mean, some big, huge promotion to get people to come. And it was a blast. And, of course, drank Yingling there as well. Because they have a Yingling plant in Florida somewhere.
I want to go to the stadium where Kenny Powers played in that Eastbound and Down show.
Oh.
Myrtle Beach. I want to go see that stadium. That seems like fun. I don't even know where we we did. We left off on the UFC.
Oh, yeah.
So I got to bring this up because, we don't plug too many things. But the UFC's this weekend. Big Conor McGregor fight against Poirier. And Dustin Poirier is ranked number 2. So I brought up the MyBookie thing because they not only have the ability to bet on that fight, you can bet on every fight, and you can watch the fights all on MyBookie. So sign up with the promo code 12OZ Sports. You'll get a deposit bonus up to $1,000. You can see it right there on the screen right now. And then the next thing that's going to pop up is the McGregor fight. But we both use MyBookie, and it's awesome.
Oh,
you can watch the game. You can watch the fights.
It's tons of fun. You got to get on there.
And if you have a converter or Bluetooth, you can put, from your laptop the fight on your big screen. And it's like you have pay-per-view. It's awesome. And then you can put money down on the fights, which we always make the mistake of betting on fights when we're hammered.
Yeah, not a good idea.
That's why we win in football and hockey.
Yeah.
Well, I win in hockey because I follow Pete's Power Plays Tuesday through Thursday at noon on 12 Ounce Sports. He's like, his record's crazy right now. He's like 24-13
Nice.
against spreads. But anyway, yeah, MyBookie's awesome, and using our promo code, you can get up to $1,000 free. I know I made a parlay bet during college football season. It was like I made like a $10 bet. And it wasn't even my money. They just gave it to me. Like, they parcel out the bonus.
Yeah.
But they'll surprise you. You'll make a couple bets, and then all of a sudden, you have $15 to bet for free.
Yeah.
But that only if you use our promo code 12OZ Sports. So,
Yeah, get it.
yeah. And it's a great site. But you can even vote on the 2024 president. Who wins the presidential election in 2024.
Wow, those have got to be some long odds.
They're crazy long odds,
Big
yeah.
Payouts, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're humongous.
I love those bets.
Oh, yeah.
Put $1 down.
Right, exactly. So they did the handshake today, and I thought McGregor was going to get squirrely, but they were actually pretty cool and respectful with each other. But then Conor, in the post-weigh-in press conference, said he wants to have 7 fights in the next 18 months. This is a guy that hasn't fought in, has it been a year or 2 years?
I don't know. Wow, that's shocking.
He wants to have 7 fights in the next 18 months.
He's not the number 1 seed or rank, is
No,
he?
he's 15th. He's
Yeah.
ranked 15th. He's been out of the game. I think after he boxed Mayweather, I'm not sure he's had another. Maybe Khabib kicked his ass. Maybe that was his last fight.
You think he's going to do anything again in this fight?
Well, he's already beat this guy pretty bad, but it's been a couple years since that.
Yeah, and didn't we hear this guy's improved since then?
This guy has improved, but Conor McGregor today looked incredibly fit. Like, he looks like he's in fighting shape.
How old is he?
He's got to be early 30s now, I'm assuming.
Oh, okay. So
But-
prime-ish.
Yeah, and he looked ready.
Huh.
But, I mean, again, this guy's gotten a lot better. McGregor's got to be a little bit rusty. The last time, I think the last time he fight is when Khabib whooped him, and then the melee turned into a melee.
Oh, yeah.
Khabib ran out into the crowd, and somebody came in and sucker punched Conor. So this will be his first time back in the ring, and that's a pretty...
Do you think there will be more melees? And
No, this isn't the guy that was against, though.
Oh.
This guy, they were respectful to each other today in the weigh-in. There was no shenanigans.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I mean, Conor got out and posed and act like he was going to punch him, but
He's Connor.
yeah, he's got to do that. So there you go. Make sure you watch the fight, but sign up for MyBookie first. Even if you put a couple bucks on the game, you play like the in-studio driver here. He likes to do $1 parlays.
I love him.
And you do parlays with prop bets, right?
Oh, yeah.
You use the prop builder?
Prop builder? Yep.
Yeah, that's good stuff there. Those are fun. I'm reading some...
Absolutely. Turn $1 into $16, turn $1 into $5, turn $1 into $10, anywhere. I mean, it's all kinds of good stuff.
You're not making bets like me, $100 on the Buckeyes to beat Clemson?
No.
Well, then I lost 50 against Alabama. Oh, Alabama. All right, speaking of Buckeyes, the old Buckeyes quarterback, Dwayne Haskins, so you might not know this story, but he was playing for the Redskins, the Washington football team, and he was their starter for a while, but they were under the COVID rules, and he, I think, was caught going to a strip club, which was breaking COVID rules. You weren't allowed to, leave the bubble or whatever.
I was about to say, why does that matter?
It shouldn't matter, but in this, overly
I got you now.
overly sensitive society,
Yeah. Well,
although that is the oldest profession, I don't think it's going
no,
away.
But it is I mean, I guess you got to be safe.
Yeah. So I keep wanting to say Washington cut him, and then this is a kind of.
What do you mean cut him?
They just completely kicked him off the team.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So he was teamless, but the Steelers signed him this week.
Nice.
So he's going to Pittsburgh. It's not nice. He's an Ohio State guy playing for Pittsburgh. I don't like that because then I got to root against him.
Yeah, but Roethlisberger's about to be old and go out.
That means they're probably playing because their backup Mason Rudolph isn't the answer.
Right.
I'm not sure Dwayne Haskins is the answer, but that's interesting that they signed him.
It's a Buckeye about to be on a good team, getting some play time.
Yeah, that might be what they're thinking. They might be thinking he is taking over the throne. I don't know. It's hard to tell, but I thought that was an interesting pickup. And we were talking MyBookie. Oh, the other thing about the Steelers is they interviewed Hugh Jackson for the offensive coordinator position. He is the crappy former coach of the Browns. That went I think he was the one that went 0-16 and made a bunch of excuses of how none of it was his fault.
Oh, wow.
And he went on an excuse tour after they fired him. And he was going on the Mothership and Fox Sports and just basically bad-mouthing everyone around the Browns organization. And then we got rid of him. And look at us, we're in the playoffs and our coach won Coach of the Year.
And now he's still getting interviews.
Yeah, the Steelers interviewed him to be their offensive coordinator because last week one of the headlines was the Steelers let go their offensive coordinator.
Well, if you don't like the Steelers, you want them to get him.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to it. He just became the Browns MVP. So we were talking MyBookie. So they put out the NBA MVP betting odds today. And Luka Doncic is the leader at plus 400. But some huge names. Giannis, plus 450. He may have won it last year, too, and he's plus 450.
Whoa.
And then Kevin Durant, who's off to a hot start, plus 500. But here's the one that got me, Kawhi Leonard. I think Kawhi Leonard has won an MVP in the past. I'm pretty sure he won an MVP in a finals.
10 years ago? I mean, what are you talking about?
2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Maybe he didn't win it, but he was up there. Plus 3,000.
Wow.
Plus 3,000 on Kawhi Leonard to win NBA MVP, and you place that bet on MyBookie with 12 Ounce Sports, 12OZ Sports promo code. You're going to get free money to bet on it. What were you going to say?
I was going to say put $1 on it, bring in 30.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about putting 100 on it.
Oh.
What's that win? 30 grand? Plus 3,000.
30 times 100.
3,000.
300.
Is it 3 grand or 30 grand?
30 times 100 is 3,000.
That's not 30 times 100, is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you bet 100 to win 3,000. That's what it is. Yeah. I got to remember the money line rule. Plus something means you bet 100 to win that. Minus something means you bet the minus part to win 100.
The way I remember it is you take whatever that plus number is and you divide it by 100, and that's what you win if you bet $1.
Oh my God. I was going to say the easy way to remember it is whatever the plus is what you win if you bet 100. So I should have known. Yeah, so $100 bet on
You're
Kawhi
thinking
Leonard.
100, I'm thinking 1. It's all right.
So now I wanted to go to standings around the league. We're going to start with NHL. If I knew you were coming for sure, maybe I would have finished with that because that's your favorite league. But we're going to pull that up. We're going to take our faces off the screen. So did you know that they made every conference have a sponsor?
No, what?
So it's Honda West. Yeah.
Oh.
It's Honda West, Scotia North, and wait till we get to the other ones. They're kind of funny. But in the West, Vegas is 4-0. They're kicking butt. They're back to their finals.
Yeah. Do they still have Marc-Andre Fleury as the goalie?
I'm sure they do.
That guy's great. Former Penguin.
And their goal differentials +9.
Go
And they're,
Vegas.
yeah, they're doing great. Minnesota's not too bad. They're 3-1. And the Scotia North, all Canadian teams, Montreal has 2 overtime wins.
Whoa.
Yeah, and they're 3-0, +8 in the goal differential. So Montreal, Winnipeg, Toronto, Calgary, top 4 there in the Canadian division.
Any idea who the Montreal star is?
No, I wasn't that prepared.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised Edmonton's down in 5th, but they didn't look too bad the other night.
Yeah, we saw them. They look good.
So here comes the funny names I was laughing at. The Mass Mutual East and the Discover Central. Well, I think both of them are financial institute. Well, Discover is a credit card, right?
That sounds right.
They're probably considered a financial institution. So the good news is our Penguins got off the schneid. The bad news is they're in 6th. Philadelphia's in 1st. The Islanders, which we were surprised the Islanders beat the Rangers, but we shouldn't be. They're in 2nd there at 3-1.
Well, I'm just thinking of years ago, Rangers, Islanders. The Rangers would always get the better hand, but I don't know about these new teams.
Right. And then in the Central, we got Tampa Bay in 1st, naturally, followed by Florida. So we're running out of time. So let's go to the NFL schedule, if I could find it real quick, because these are big games. And keep an eye on the time for me.
I got you, too.
So at 3:05 on Sunday, you got the Buccaneers traveling to the Packers. And at 6:40, you got the Bills traveling to the Chiefs. And we're down to a little less than 2 minutes, so let's get to the NBA real quick, because I did promise the viewers, and we did our toast, so we got that out of the way. NBA standings, Eastern Conference, 76ers 10-5 and in 1st, followed by the Celtics, Bucks, and Pacers. Of course, the Cavs stink. Oh, they're in 7th. They're in a playoff spot. In the West, of course, the Lakers are in 1st, 12-4. Jazz and Clippers, 11-4. Holding up the rear of the Minnesota Timberwolves. God bless them.
Wow.
Any parting shots?
Brian Sellers again.
We got about 1 minute.
I hope he passes everybody.
Brian Sellers, Dayton, Ohio, in the Daytona 24-hour. And before we take our sip, it says, be kind, rewind. I'm not talking about VHS tapes. I'm about fed up with social media. Stop hating on each other. We're all the same at the end of the day. We just want to, what Carlin used to say, we just want to jerk off, wipe off, and go to work. Cheers. That's all we got. That's the end. We made it to the end of the work week. You made it to the end of the work week. We'll be back next Friday at 4. Make sure you call in next Friday. We love the callers. We love you. Have a great weekend.